Going over to the Cultural Report podcast, you have Matt Walsh reacting to a woman spending over $1,000 on junk food with EBT and apparently having over $12,000 left on her EBT card. Because, of course, our taxpayers will pay for it. Our tax dollars go to everything except hard work. It boggles my mind. I'm so frustrated with how little we get from paying taxes. And you say people who have full grocery cards who don't have jobs. It's ridiculous. Now, this first actually reposted thanks to Wall Street Apes. Now, he says, quote, a woman on EBT food stamps makes $1,500 per trip grocery hauls and still has $12,087 left on her EBT card. It's like a used Honda right there. A pretty darn good used Honda. That's insane. And yeah, as most people struggle to make a living and struggle to make groceries and put a budget together, she's buying all this crap. It is disgusting.
We should not be subsidizing obesity.
Well,
actually, quick critique on that, Matt Walsh. Now, I'm not going to blame him specifically, but a lot of the mainstream conservative podcasters a couple months ago, they're all standing up for big soda. I say that because it was pretty clear who was getting incentivized indirectly from those major manufacturers. Because again, RFK Jr. and Trump, they have some ideas of, well, if you're on government handouts, maybe you shouldn't buy soda, which is just high fructose corn syrup in a bottle or can. There's really no health upside. It makes you more unhealthy, makes you sluggish, really doesn't improve your life in any way. You get calories, but they're not good calories. Well, maybe we shouldn't allow people on government handouts to buy things like soda pop. And conservatives are all like, oh no, it's free to America. You should be able to buy junk food. I don't know why I kind of default to the accent. I mean, I was going to say I'm from Texas. I wish. I was born in Texas. I got here eventually. But they're like, oh yeah, it's all about freedom. You should be able to buy whatever junk food you want. Because America. No, you're on government handouts, which again, were supposed to be temporary. That was the intention, though conspiratorially, I would argue most government handouts are used to hook you on the system so that you vote for bigger and bigger government and get more and more free stuff, and it don't actually help you long term. Some people might, you could argue it was a good intention, but the cliche saying is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Conspiratorially, I almost think the government uses it to bribe voters. But yeah, they were saying big soda, you should be able to buy that. No, if you're on government handouts, it should be temporary, it should be healthy food only, and yeah, it shouldn't be helping the sales for Coca-Cola and PepsiCo. But let's see what maybe she picked some healthy stuff. Obviously, I can't even say that with a straight face. I was about to say, maybe she picked very smart, responsible things that she was able to purchase on the EBT cards that you and I paid for. Obviously, she didn't. I take it back. She made one smart decision. One, I think.
Subsidizing obesity.
Welch Juices got 2 cases of these.
Which, no offense to Welch's, necessarily. Not intended. However, a lot of those juices are almost like a derivative of juice, kind of like grape drink that Dave Chappelle brought to the forefront of cultural phenomenon decades ago. Those juices, well, if I was a millionaire, I'd have a fancy juicing machine to squeeze real fruit and stuff. But like, all those juices are mainly sugar. And if you look at the ingredients, if the first thing is after water is high fructose corn syrup, hell no, I would never buy that juice for kids or myself. It's candy in a bottle. But I partially digress. And if you cannot see this, I'm sorry, I should put a visual disclaimer on the screen, perhaps. She's a very large woman. In this case, she's African American. Though granted, I don't have much ground to stand on. I look like this. So, depending on your viewpoint, maybe she's more attractive than me. Who knows? I do not think so. But nevertheless, back to her haul from the grocery store. And she probably says on the screen, $1,500 EBT haul. Just checked my card and had $12,087 in food stamps, which, God, that's criminal.
About
Is very much morbidly obese.
some Sam grain chips.
So, high fructose corn syrup and corn. Okay.
Say that bit over.
Two terrible choices.
They got these chips.
Three terrible choices. I guess low blow to PepsiCo, or PepsiCo Frito-Lay. PepsiCo owns Frito-Lay, which is like 68% of the salty snack aisle. Fun business fact of the day. So she got a variety pack of Doritos, Lay's, Ruffles. So just mostly air, lots of salt, and yeah, basically, and oil. A modicum of nutrition, I would argue none.
They got these
So
chips.
0 for 3 smart choices thus far. Again, she's a mom. She's got lots of lots of kids. I was about to say baby daddies. I don't see any on the screen, but it's an instance where, especially for kids, you gotta be more careful of nutrition. and what they're putting in their bodies.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
So just high fructose corn syrup poured on top of cornmeal. Not cornmeal. What is that made of? Wheat. So more candy. So 0 for 4 smart choices. And again, as a kid, I had fancy cereal from time to time. It's not good for you. It's not a good choice. And it's overpriced. All right.
Ballpark hot dogs.
What do you think? Is that an okay buy? I don't really think hot dogs are the pinnacle of anyone's health choices, but relative to their purchases, maybe give her a 1 win, kinda.
Some teriyaki, teriyaki noodles.
So, more salt, very little nutrition. Okay. Look at that lost section.
Some kind of
Doritos, a special edition Doritos? Yeah, it's gonna be an epic fail as well.
a pack of ground beef.
There. I'll give her credit. That's one good choice for your family. One good choice. Again, it's one of those things where if you budget wisely, well, I guess they don't have to. She's got all the money in the world. She's got thousands of dollars, but yeah, just raw ingredients. That's great. Like it's been a couple of years. I've been blessed and working hard. But years ago, I lived below the poverty line. You just buy raw ingredients from the Walmart. You meal prep. Is it fun? No. Is it the best tasting stuff in the world? No, but it is healthy options for you. You got one good pick. What the? What did she say that is?
Packers on the sticks.
What? Is that the? Here, what is it? Corn dog? Yeah, no, it's gonna be a fail. Sausage. Wait, no, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Sausage. No, pancakes and sausage on a stick. Only in America, folks.
Packers on the sticks. Seasoning salt.
What? Sea salt? Oh, seasoning salt. That's not bad.
Seasoning
Again, too much salt's gonna be bad for you, but
salt. Pickles.
what? She's got money for a store. That's not even. Yeah, she's paying for the brand. The Mount Olive. That's fancy pickles too. People like me get the Walmart brand stuff. It's great value. Pun intended. That's the name of the product line as well.
Pickles.
She's got fancy pickles, which, I mean, it's a lot of salt, but I would argue pickles could be a healthy snack. There's not really any nutrition in them, though. And again, I appreciate pickles. Every once in a while, I love to get some. But, like, you're not going to grow big and strong kids if they just eat pickles. Well, maybe we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. That's a neutral one.
Powdered donuts.
F-, the dumbest food you can buy. Especially when you look at the ingredients of all this crap, the amount of stuff that you can't pronounce, and Lord knows what it does to your body. Like, when was the last time I had powdered donuts? 18 years ago? Maybe 19? I don't get out much. I eat very consistently healthy, cheap foods. But yeah, powdered donuts for the kids. She doesn't have one. What's that? How many is that? Gotta look behind the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a multi-pack of powdered donuts. Jeez.
Powdered donuts.
I mean, I got hypertension just from watching it. I died of a heart attack, came back to life, and then got diabetes and died again, then came back to life again, all while we were watching that. Nothing but processed junk food.
Yep.
Nothing, no real food. This goes on for 4 or 5 minutes. This woman.
We have to stop you there, Matt. Again, the beef is good. As Wendy's would say, where's the beef? She got the beef.
And showing off all the stuff she bought. She bought a truckload of stuff with EBT, and none of it is food.
I mean, none of it is also healthy or fulfilling for the kids. And a lot of that junk food, you're going to get hungry again. And again, if you are making your own money and you want to buy that crap for your body, I don't care. That is your own business. If you want to do that to your body, go for it. It's America. But again, if you're on government handouts and I'm paying for it, that's where I'm going to cause a ruckus. Well, not really. I'm going to complain on a YouTube channel, 15 people watch, and 3 people watch on the Rumble. Thank you for subscribing. I'm only partially kidding. But it's an instance where the number one objective every time I talk to friends or peers when it comes to, diet and exercise, everyone always has a bullcrap excuse that makes my blood boil, saying, well, if you're poor, you can't afford to eat healthy. I hate that excuse, especially nowadays with the price of fast food. I mean, now you got to spend real money just to eat crap fast food. That's why I don't eat fast food. It's an instance where, again, I live below the poverty line, Back in my day, a 2-pound bag of carrots was under $2 at the Walmart. And yeah, as I'm one of those weird guys where that would be a snack when I was at work as a bag of raw carrots. Not even that dressing, which again isn't healthy for you. Just a bag of raw carrots. I don't think anyone's gonna believe me. I'm a weird guy. That legit is a snack when I'm on road trips as well. Because again, it's simple, healthy, and shoot, all you have to do is, well, they come pre-washed these days. You can wash it a little bit extra. You just throw a little Ziploc baggie, throw it in the cooler. You got a road trip snack. Also, if you want back again, inflation is abhorrent. I blame Democrats and Republicans for destroying our country. I mean, back in my day, I would get a big old jar or a can of Hunt's pasta sauce, and back in the day, it was 79 cents. Now it's like $1.85. It's insane. And it boggles my mind how much inflation is destroying the middle class and everyone in the United States. Again, I just buy a big old thing of Hunt's pasta sauce. I get the cheapest pasta. And that would be a lot of my meals when I was in college. I get a loaf of bread for under real bread. I got lucky. Iowa has some great local bakeries. And you pay a little more. Obviously, it's more expensive than Wonder Bread, but it was still a pretty good price per unit. Back in the day, I mean, even nowadays, certain vegetables as well as fruit is cheap. Now, if you want a Honeycrisp apple, gosh, that to me that's a special occasion. Those things are like, what is it, multiple dollars per pound? It's preposterous. But you can still get cheap. What is it? Not Pink Lady, but there's another Granny Smith apple, Red Delicious apple, which is ironically named Red Delicious because I would argue they're not really as delicious as the other brands, or rather more accurately, the other kinds of apples. Bananas are cheap as all heck, and fun fact, the number one thing Walmart sells. Bananas are really cheap, great source of potassium. You have natural sugars, which is good for you. It's not processed, it's just a damn banana. That's a great snack for a kid. That is what I had as a kid back in the day. And every once in a while, I always think of in terms of life in fiscal quarters because I'm kind of a business nerd. Like once a fiscal quarter, my mom, maybe every other fiscal quarter, my mom would get, a multiple pack of the Dorito chips things from like Sam's Club. That was a rare occasion. And again, this is not just irresponsible uses of tax dollars, it's hurting these kids. I'm making fun of her weight a little bit. She's morbidly obese. She might have some underlying health issues. And I have friends who, again, there are some people where it is hard to lose weight. Sometimes they're disabled. There are certain diseases. I understand that. And if someone's trying to lose weight, I will always commend them, always give them encouragement. If you're a guy, it kind of helps to make fun of a friend a little bit just to get them motivated. For many men, that does help. But everyone is different. But I always commend someone for losing weight and getting their health together. And in instances where, again, she might be overweight because of those things, but for a vast, overwhelming majority of Americans, we're the fast country on the planet, is because of lack of a good diet and lack of any exercise. And these health options that they're using right now are terrible. Now, again, RFK Jr. is dramatically limiting this. I think that's a great thing. I think it actually will help make America healthy again. There's also rampant corruption when it comes to EBT and food stamps. Like, grew up in the Midwest. I mean, there's a whole secondary market where, like, if someone, let's say, keep it simple, if the government gave you $100 in EBT food stamps, you can go and sell it to a guy in the corner for like $70 or $60, something like that. So you get cash for them, then they would get, the whole $100 value when they go to the store and buy whatever they wanted. It's a whole industry in and of itself, and there's so much corruption. And again, I would argue it's hurting these people. They're becoming lifetime abusers of the system. Again, not everyone, but there are far too many who stay on those systems for life. And it just destroys their health. Again, she made one good choice in terms of a food product as a mom right there. Like, the ground beef, that's great. Raw ingredients, actual food. And again, America's got some issues with the food supply. A lot of the crap we eat is terrible for us. There should be no reason why bread has 39 different ingredients that you can't pronounce. Now, if you're like me, you can't pronounce anything, so that's not saying much, but the average person should be able to pronounce what the hell's in their food. And there's a reason why you can eat the same things here and then go overseas, eat the same thing in terms of the category of product or food, and you actually lose weight overseas. It's because the food overseas is so much healthier for you because there's less crap in it. And I think Americans, especially right now, I can't be the only one who works. Maybe I know I'm a little bit of a nerd. I can't be the only one who uses Microsoft Excel, which I joke with my engineers and say that is a database. It's not, but I like to poke fun at them. I mean, I'm not the only one putting a budget together that actually breaks down the food, am I? I know so many Americans that are struggling right now. And I remember there's been times in my life where you get that checkout and maybe you picked up one extra food item and you see that dollar amount at the checkout. This is due. You got to put something back because you can't afford it. Maybe you have to put down. Maybe you have to put back 2-3 items. That is one of the most hard. That was one of the most difficult moments in my life. I still remember there was a time in right after college, I tried to check out groceries at the Hy-Vee, which is a very popular food chain or grocery store in the Midwest, and I couldn't afford it. It was declined insufficient funds. And I looked at my account, oh behold, I had like $7 and something and change. And thankfully, I was as one of the few instances where I was not very religious and overly analytical about my budget. But yeah, that's heartbreaking. And there's so many people that are doing the responsible thing and working like hell, putting a budget together, abiding by your budget, putting a grocery list together. Yeah, people were spending $1,500 of our taxpayer money on one trip. Now, again, it's not just her. She has family. That's also something the government's made worse in terms of incentive mechanisms, in terms of certain instances where they actually incentivized the breaking up of families. It's one of those things where this is not sustainable. Our country is $37 trillion in debt. Now, I know this is not the number one thing on the U.S. budget, but I also can't help but see parallels to the metaphors of what this is to our country in terms of corruption and hardworking people getting screwed over for people who aren't working too hard. People who are spending, she has $12,000 on food stamps. I'm still befuddled. I can barely articulate anything, which is saying something because I usually can't at all. But $12,000 of food stamps that she still has left, and she spent $1,500 on one trip. It's insane. And conspiratorially, some might argue, does the government want this? Because it creates more people who are on diabetes, more people who are on government assistance. So now they need not only the government to assist them with their food, but now they need medical assistance from the government. So they're even more dependent on that government. These days, I don't think that conspiracy theory is out of the realm of possibility. It creates more and more people who are multiple dependent on the government for their food, for their health care. And this food just makes people more and more unhealthy. It's terrible. And maybe I'm foolishly optimistic. I feel like, in part, thanks to RK Jr. and more of a national discussion around nutrition and the stuff they put in there, from the dyes to the chemicals, I think we're having a culture shift in the United States. We're really starting to wonder and ask questions, why is this crap in our food? And we are having some laws to remove some of these artificial dyes and ingredients from our food as well. Now, in terms of pros versus cons, one of the best philosophers ever, economic professor Thomas Sowell, once said there's no such thing as solutions, only trade-offs. So my concern, I hope it doesn't come to fruition, but one of the reasons why perhaps our food is the cheapest in the world, which again, our food is still very expensive, partially because of the erosion of the value of the US dollar, but could our food increase in price because these artificial dyes and chemicals they put into the food to decrease the cost of the food? So if we have more natural food, could the cost go up? It will be interesting to see how that happens in practice, once more of these things start coming to the market. But that could be another stressor on the U.S. economy and U.S. households. So it'll be healthier for us, but it'll cost a little bit more. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. I think especially now, people are just tired of having the government steal from them. I mean, geez Louise, the income tax, the property tax, the gasoline tax, the alcohol tax, tobacco tax, telecom tax, internet tax, water tax, inheritance tax, capital gains tax. I mean, car registration, property, they're taxed to death. Most people can barely make it. And you have people with $12,000 on an EBT card. That is insane. That is disgusting. Now, perhaps I'm alone in this analysis. Maybe everyone in the comments are going to give her accolades, saying something to the effect of "you go girl" or something. Probably not, but let's dive into the comments. Now, it's got about 720,000 views and 15,000 likes. When the first comments comes to us thanks to Mirthful Moments, saying, quote, 2 types of shoppers. Yep. One is a full cart and says no job. And the other one is a cart with barely anything in it, and that says job, which, yep. And being I was about to say proud. I'm not really proud, but I am a Walmart shopper, and always entertaining for the people watching over there. And always stand out because I'm usually the one guy wearing a suit the whole store because, well, time is a very, very valuable thing. So I usually in a grocery shop if I'm on the way back from customer meeting for time optimization. But nevertheless, yeah, there are certain instances where you could tell, like, oh yeah, that cart, that can't but think you're on government assistance just by the choice of the products in your cart and the quantity in it. Because again, I mean, having a full cart these days is so damn rare. And that got 474 likes. Let's see. Crypto Tex says, children continue having children with different unemployed men. And it's like the recycle logo. It says, and then the arrow goes to never contribute to society, collect welfare and EBT. It says blame white people. Now, again, there's no evidence that she's a single mom. We don't know that. It was just presumably a mother and her kids in the kitchen unloading the groceries that they got from the store. Again, statistically, yeah, probably maybe. Now, the Goblin King says 12 F and K. 12K, but those of us who actually F and work can barely afford groceries half the time. What the actual F? Getting 290 likes. Yep. Yeah, $12,000. I can't get over that number. That's a nice used Honda Civic. Just got my parameter for like cost. Also have, what's this? Agent Provocateur. It says political science 101. It's a cartoon of a white gal saying, quote, today we're going to learn about communism. Dear leader, now that you've taxed the rich out of existence, how about redistributing the wealth? And the leader goes, no. And she goes, and that's how communism actually works. Okay, 155 likes. Yep. New York City is they might just find out that the hard way. Let's see. Patriot Aaron says, quote, mice die in mouse traps because they don't understand why the cheese is free. The same thing happens with socialism, getting 170 likes, 181 likes, going up like a stock. Got a lot more compilations of the juxtaposition of the picture of the grocery cart with many groceries and says no job. Then grocery cart with no or barely any groceries says job. Let's see. Scrolling down more and more. Miss B has the meme or the cartoon where you have the guy going kind of like the Lion King. He goes up top of the hill. He says something. He says, "Believe the science." The leftists are smiling and he goes about the health risk of obesity, and the whole crowd gets angry, getting 29 likes. Which, again, one of the number one ways Americans die is from preventable diseases from obesity. It is insane. That got 29 likes. Let's see. Oh, Owl Pellets says, "Don't mess with their rights to gluttony." There's an AI generated picture of a very large African American woman yelling, standing or holding a grocery cart labeled EBT, getting 49 likes. And again, a lot of white folks are also on EBT. A lot of people bring up the fact per capita, but again, in terms of number of white folks, there are a lot of white people who are also on government assistance as well. Derek Evans says she should get her fat ass off the couch and get a job, getting 138 likes. Now, again, why would she though? If you're getting $15,000 per grocery trip, why would you get a job? Especially if you get Section 8 housing, especially if you get other unemployment or other government benefits. Now, there are whole Reddit, it's fascinating. There's a whole culture of scamming the government. And it's an instance where they'll actually tell you, oh yeah, you can't let your husband get a job because then you won't qualify for certain Section 8 things like the housing for free or some of these government handouts. They know the system. Like if they were to get a job, I mean, that's why a lot of people don't get jobs, because they get the government assistance. They get paid more to do nothing than to do something. Obviously, it's not good. Scrolling down more and more. Let's see. Dan Braibos says, quote, Matt Walsh hit the nail on the head. EBT has turned into a taxpayer-funded buffet for junk food hoarders. $1,500 hauls of soda, chips, frozen garbage while working Americans can't afford real groceries is beyond insulting. It's not feeding the hungry, it's subsidizing diabetes and obesity. And seeing someone flex over having $12,000 left on their card, that's robbery in plain sight. The system isn't broken, it's rigged to reward gluttony and fraud, while the people who foot the bill get screwed. EBT should be used to buy steak, eggs, veggies, milk, real food, not truckloads of processed trash. Absolutely right. Got 289. Let's make it 900. Whoa, 303 likes. Which, yeah. Again, eggs are pretty darn good ROI from a health nutrition perspective. You can get them for, well, now pretty damn cheap. There's a little while where the egg prices spiked, partially because the last administration ordered farmers to kill a lot of chickens. But nevertheless, in general, eggs are very cheap. Vegetables are very cheap. Milk's usually pretty cheap. Kind of high in sugar, so I'm not really a big fan of it. But nevertheless, a lot of the raw ingredients are cheap. Is it kind of a pain in the ass to food prep? Yeah. Not glorious. It takes effort. Might not taste as good as the bioengineered crap is designed to be addictive and delicious. However, I would argue you can make some really good healthy food options. My dinner is usually just, Again, it's not like they're endorsing me or isn't an advertisement for them. But I usually like the cheapest Walmart beef or John Soules beef. Again, the frozen section. Get some Walmart branded egg whites. Get some Walmart branded low fat cheese. Get a Walmart branded, what is that? The burrito wrap. Just heat that stuff in the microwave. Add a little bit of Walmart grade salsa, and you're good. And salsa's, well, I think the one that gets little or no sugar. It's about 20 calories. Obviously, pretty high in sodium, but work out 2 hours a day, so I could use some salt. But nevertheless, that's pretty damn cheap, and it tastes pretty damn good. And I'm really OCD, or whatever you want to call it, Rain Man, when it comes to my budget and my food and my diet. I'm pretty on a tight regiment. Just eat the same thing every day. It tastes delicious. And yeah, just Walmart groceries. It's pretty simple. Anyone can do it. But yeah, let's see. You also have, Brother Gary. Saying, quote, Romans 128k, and even as they did not like to retain God in the language, God gave them over to reprobate mind, and those who are, to do those things that are not convenient. Gain 20 likes. Mindy MF Robinson says, quote, the government is rewarding them for not succeeding in toxic grocery store food slop designed to kill them. Gain 123 likes. 126 likes. Yep. Brian T says, notice they always use a black person for an example, but whites use more food stamps and assistance than anyone. Yeah, no, I mentioned that earlier. Let's see here. Now, he did get was he ratioed? He was not ratioed, but the top response to him was from Mr. Magnus, saying, quote, if you have videos of whites spending $1,300 on food stamps for junk food, I'd be happy if you were to share that, gain 10 likes. Which, there is kind of a social media phenomenon of certain folks sharing their EBT hauls and bragging about it, which I don't know why you're bragging about it. You didn't earn it. Nevertheless, Shane Frazier says, quote, I'm so effing sick of paying taxes so trash can get fatter. Getting 101 likes. Yep. Let's see. Colonel Maga Mark says, I don't give a crap whether it's chips or baled hay. No American with 0 to 10 children should receive this much in food assistance. Getting 112 likes. Which, again, there's a thing where I think people do need help from time to time. Obviously. I think privately, in terms of local nonprofits, churches, as well as your community, can help them infinitely more effective than the government. The government, you also have, there's really no feeling of community and paying them back. That's why so many people are entitled with these government handouts. They don't feel like, it's just a check from a government employee they never meet. Chris Wilson says, anytime I see someone with a full grocery cart, I just go ahead and assume I'm paying for it. Gain 34 likes. Yep. Yankee says, beans and rice, welfare food should be nothing more than that. Gain 47 likes. Yep. How much did I pay for my Walmart brand? The Great Value black beans. Was a can 97 cents? I forget. But yeah, they last. Beans or rice. Kind of cliche, but yeah, I had that growing up. I'm Cuban. If you've seen this a couple times, beans and rice, man. And Dave Ramsey pontificated that perfectly. When you're on a budget, beans and rice, cheap, healthy, one of the best ROIs when it comes to food. Let's see, one more. Kentucky Patriot Girl says, quote, what I'd like to know is how do these people get so much on EBT while seniors and disabled people get $23 a month and struggle to survive? Something is not right here. I get that large families are going to get more, but this is very disproportionate, getting 184 likes. Yep. Now, the real question is, will the government ever slow down the spending? Again, RFK Jr. is trying to redirect it, so to say, so it's actually to healthy food. I think that's a good idea. But yeah, I think a lot of people are just getting fed up, and especially when you can barely make ends meet, you see everyone else. I think this will have political ramifications if they don't stop all this spending. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback. Let me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.